What about the thaw in India-China relationship? You know, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited China after a gap of 7 years. There's resumption of direct flights between India and China after this freeze. Do you think the thaw in India-China relationship will also impact India-US relationship?
Well, when the Prime Minister was in SCO Summit and there was a picture which flashed all across the world, Prime Minister along with President Putin and President Xi, it did send a message to America. In fact, people said, we're asking the question, who lost India? And I think that picture really alarmed a lot of people, saying that we need to basically rebuild our effort and relationship with India. So I would say that there are efforts being put in by the State Department, by the Defense Department in the US to ensure the relationship does not go in this way. But when I look at, in Delhi itself, the trust factor has dissipated. And some people call this is the 1971 movement for Indians itself. So I would say the damage is quite deep, and we need to work hard to win that heart and soul of the leadership in India, and we'll have to keep on working at that.
Oh, you're absolutely right about that. And one more reason that may lead to damage, or at least there are fresh concerns in India over Trump administration's decision to impose this $100,000 fee on the new H-1B visa applicants. This think tank, Gtri, that suggested that President Trump's decision to significantly raise the visa fee may negatively impact US ties more than with India, and it may adversely impact the US more. There are those who are going to court. So in your view, who stands to lose? And is this a blessing in disguise for India?
Well, the H-1B $100,000 fee does not do any damage to the Indian economy. You have to understand that the low-end jobs on H-1B, which were being done in the US, and they'll move to India. And the high-end jobs will get a much higher compensation structure itself. But where it really hurts the US economy is the startups, which can't afford $100,000 fee. The nurses, the teachers, whose compensation are much, much lower. So I would say that it does have an impact on the US ecosystem. And because this is only a one-year cycle, if you want to go next year again for $100,000 fee, the executive order has to come out from the president. So I would say that the damage is limited, and a lot of this work will move to India.
A lot of work will move to India. So, you know, you'd mentioned this just a short while back, that there should be some big headline that Donald Trump can walk away with. So what is that headline that India and the United States could agree to that would give momentum to the negotiations without compromising India's core concerns, and especially on agriculture and dairy?
Well, you have to basically look at today, the trade between two countries is $200 billion. And the February statement put out by the White House basically envisage to take it to $500 billion by 2030. And I think we need to look at a trade deal which announces $1 trillion trade between the two countries going forward by 2040. That's a great headline news. Or look at India has over 250 Boeing plane orders. You talk to other airlines in India, and look at how you can make that to a 500 Boeing plane orders, or look at buying a bulk of $50 billion worth of energy from the US, or look at the defense equipment. So I think the ways to package this without compromising India's position and giving the headline to the president.
Okay. In a recent interview, sir, former US Ambassador Rahman, he accused President Donald Trump of destroying decades of US-India ties, perhaps because of his ego. He also alleged that Trump sought a Nobel Prize, and Trump and his family are benefiting from Pakistan-linked money. Now, do you believe the recent strains in India-US relations stem from President Trump's personal or family business interests?
Well, you have to understand you have a country, Pakistan, whose economy is in tatters, and its approach to basically dealing with Trump is to give up whatever is left, either buying cryptocurrency or giving a port or rare minerals which don't exist itself. And that's a short-term game. In the long term, that's not sustainable. Whereas India provides a market opportunity of a economy which is $4 trillion, which will go up to $10 trillion in the next few years itself, a population whose spending power is going up 15% annually itself. And we have seen the example of Apple, which was doing not much domestic business in India a few years ago. Now its domestic sale has crossed over $8 billion. So I think India provides real market opportunity to US companies. It provides real intellectual engine for its GCCs. So India provides substance, whereas there's no substance coming out from Pakistan.
Okay. So, Mr. Aghi, what gives you confidence that between Diwali and Christmas, there'll be a happy Diwali and there'll be Merry Christmas for US-India trade ties beyond the current challenges?
No, absolutely. I think both countries have no choice but to come to an agreement so you can start focusing on building the relationship, start building employment in both countries, investment in both countries. And so it does serve the interests of the United States and India to come to some kind of understanding. You have to understand, it's not just about trade deal. It's about geopolitics. It's about technology. It's about, we have 300,000 Indian students in the US. You have 6 million Indian Americans in the US who are contributing substantially to the domestic economy. So I think the relationship is not just a trade deal, it's much broader and deeper, and we will come to some understanding in the near future.
Okay, great. On that note, let me wish you, your family, and your friends a very happy Diwali, and many thanks for joining me here on India Today.
Thank you, and a happy Diwali.
Thank you very much. That is all that I have for you on this special broadcast. Many thanks for watching. Wish you and your loved ones a very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year ahead.